Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Round 1, the Bahrain Grand Prix. I am Tim, back with my co-commentator, as always, Malk. How are you doing today?
Tim! How you doing? It's good to be back. It's good to be back on the performance. Can't wait. It's been a long time. Feels like a long time, to be fair. But I'm really excited tonight because this is the first race of a brand new season at Invictus. How are you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good, and it has been a long time. I feel like the last season ended sometime around December, but I know that I've slept since then, so I don't exactly remember when the last day was.
Oh, mate, it feels like ages ago, but we're all set, ready to go at this epic Bahrain Grand Prix, and this is the Performance League, so anything can happen. And I'm just excited tonight, to be fair. I just don't know what to say. I just feel really excited, to be fair. So we'll get through some of the team names in a moment, but I've got a couple of drivers just coming out now. So how do you think this season will be from your perspective?
Well, it's the Invictus' PlayStation Performance League, Malk. I mean, obviously, the season is going to be one to remember. Every season that we've been able to commentate on has just been a fantastic one to watch, and we've always had that front row seat to just about every race, give or take. And it's such an honor to be able to do that. But you mentioned the team names. We got a few new faces, a bunch of new teams, and, well, we got the same liveries because it's still the same F1 2021. However, the new teams, we'll just read them all off during the qualifying. Nitro's Luke Stars, Nitrogash and Michael Luke are part of that team. We have Speed Spud with Speed Queen 80 and Sir Spud. The Tortoise and the Hare with Delange and Sab. No Michael, no with Smoke and Rustman. Rocket Fuel Racing with O Steven and Sunboy. 005 with Turok and JP. All Thumbs Massey, ooh, that one's brutal, by with Ginger Tiger and Maddie. Team 40 007 with David 49 and BXN Roberts. The Last and the Furious, Toei and Azuril. A perfect self-burn there. And We Want Shoeys. The lone driver so far is Tadeli 7. So that's our new teams for the brand new Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League season. And of course, we mentioned a few new drivers. One of the newer ones that I recall is that of Smoke FX44. He's only made one single start in the Performance League, and that was last season. So now he is in it for the full season, as well as running in the F2 leagues on Tuesdays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a challenging one, not only for himself, not only for the new drivers, but for the existing drivers who have been knocking about left, right, and centre in the season as we are going through. But remember, from what I remember, there's been quite a few times where the first race, and this is quite an interesting stat, from what I've seen, there's been a few times where someone who has won the first race of the season has gone on to win the championship. But remember, IRL, if I remembered it right, I don't think he won the first race of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, and he's also not here to challenge himself, to be fair. So we will have a new Performance League champion this season. So it's going to be a tough one this season because any one of these drivers can have a good season, can have a good start, and they could go on to do well throughout the remainder of the season.
They could, but see, the good thing about it being the very first race of the season is that we really don't know what's going to happen. Everyone is starting out with a blank slate. Doesn't matter what you did last season, doesn't matter what you did 5 seasons ago. It only matters what you do tonight and what you do in the following races. It is just a completely blank slate. So literally everybody, and I do mean everybody, has a chance to be at the top of the point standings at the end of today. However, our very first fastest lap is going to be going to Ginger Tiger with a 128.717, but quickly beaten by Roberts with a 128.651. Now, we mentioned a few new drivers, three more names that I don't recognize: Toei, Azuril, and Tadeli. Those three are also brand new to the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, as now we're starting to get a few of those drivers with the times in. Now, remember, if you don't remember how the PlayStation Performance League works. It's that you are not necessarily going to be paired with your teammate. Now, Rustman and Smoke, they are on their team, no Michael, no, and they are in the same car. That is very rare, because normally you might be in a Williams and then your teammate will be in a Ferrari. But how it's allocated is every 2 weeks we have brand new car allocation. So the faster drivers go to the slower cars and the slower drivers go to the faster cars. That way it ensures the most balanced and fair race field that we possibly can give.
Absolutely, and that's what we love about the Performance League, because you could have one of the bestest ever races ever, but remember, you could be dropped down a few places, or depending on how the allocations get picked on that situation itself. So it's just a matter of, with F1, it's a lot of luck and a lot of skill to try and get through it as well. So we'll try our very, very best, and should be try their very, very best obviously as well, but let's hope we have a classic as well. But Michael Luke has got the fastest lap of the race already, of the qualifying already. We're getting excited for the race, to be fair. That's why I keep saying race. We're excited for the qualifying because Michael has got a 127.964. David 46 with a 128.085 as well. Now, I've seen from F2 and F3 results from the PlayStation League this week, and I noticed that there's been a few strategies going on, like with the one-stop. It's definitely between the one-stop and two-stop, depending on where you're going to be finishing. So if you're outside the top 10, try and do the one-stop. If you're inside the top 10, you got to be really lucky and go for the two-stop to try and use those tyre wear up to its advantage. I mean, mainly the one-stop will work, but I've seen a few times where the two-stop has lost out a good position, to be fair. So let's see how everything goes tonight. But Tim, I'm just excited. I know I keep saying it, but this is excitement going on, and this is going to be an absolute classic, because I don't know who to pick for this season, to be fair.
Well, I mean, it's too early to really be worrying about that, because like I said, everyone is at a blank slate. Right now, every single driver that you see has 0 points. So they have both performed very well and very poorly throughout the entire season. However, the entire season is only about 8 minutes old.
Yeah, absolutely, to be fair. So, I mean, majority of the drivers that you can see on the screen, they're about 7 drivers have already gone, 8 drivers are on the softs. The rest of it are on the mediums or have not done the time at all. Matty, Sab and Speakerin are the only ones who have had no time. Should be an absolute insane scenarios as well, because Bahrain, I'll tell you which corners to watch out for as well. So turn 1 obviously is at the start, at the first corner. That's where people will have to be watching out for when we get to the start. Turn 4, which is just after the first lot of the DRS straight. And then through the S's, what we've seen last season, people were spun up at turn 6. That was just after the first sector into the second. So, but yeah, we will see what's going to happen. Hopefully the drivers have all stepped up and hopefully don't want to make the lightning strike twice scenario, Tim.
Exactly right. Now, currently, they're watching Sab and the Red Bull, and we'll see just how Sab's season goes. I know that last season, Sab, he had just an abysmal season, and he was really hard on himself and down on himself. He just said that it was pretty much a joke that he was out there racing, and we tried to tell him that, you do have, little glimpses of hope. It's just a very bad season, but of course, I understand very well what it's like to suffer through a bad season. I am currently going through one of my own in a different league that I race for. So it's very frustrating and discouraging when you put in a lot of time, a lot of practice, and you still don't get the results that you not only deserve but are capable of achieving. So hopefully Sab can turn his season around, and what a fantastic feeling it would be for him, not just as a confidence booster, but because he has the potential to etch his names in the history book, so to speak, of the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, as he is currently tied with 4 other drivers for third on the all-time win list. As he goes to third place, a 128.237 for Sab, a good qualifying so far for the Red Bull driver. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read you this all-time win list. So, the winningest drivers are Delange, Yas, and Scope Builder with 7 wins. They are all 3 tied with 7 wins. In the second winningest driver in the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, we talked about him all season long. He's in a Mercedes tonight. It is Sir Spud. He has got 6 wins. If he wins 2 races this season, he will be the winningest driver in the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League. Of course, we said that all last season. He failed to do so, but he did get a few podiums, so he could be one of the sleeper drivers to watch out for. And then, of course, in third, we have Sab, TL44S, Ton Albanach, Sky Z, and Meg Lugpe with 5 wins each. So if Sab is able to get 4 wins on the season, 3 wins on the season, he will be the winningest driver.
We'll have to wait and see how everything goes, because we said that about Spud, who has the opportunity to get ahead as well. So we'll have to wait and see how everything goes. I hope Sab. We're rooting for Sab to do well this season. To be fair, because if you remember last season, he had a really unfortunate season, to be fair. So I'm hoping this will be the catalyst now. Hopefully that qualifying start in third place give him that catalyst boost to get himself into a good, hopefully a podium position at the end of the race, all being well as well. So we're just watching, I'm just watching Delange now, 128.4. Let's see what time he can try and come to the end of the second sector into the third. He's 600s quicker, Tim. He is 600s quicker, so he could possibly have a chance to get himself into the top 3. But BXN Roberts has got himself into pole position at the moment with a 127.931. What a time, actually. Delange's coming up to down the straight now. If he can get to the 127s! Oh, 128.3. Does improve his time by 700s. Michael Lutt has got himself pole position again. 127.715, Tim.
So good job to Michael Luke there, currently watching Speed Queen 80 as she crosses the line. She goes to 6th, a 128.469 for the Williams driver of Speed Queen 80. So some of the drivers that we were talking about late last season already showing that they have some speed. Of course, Speed Queen 80 got a handful of podiums last season, did not get a win. Michael Luke pretty much picking up where he left off. He seemed to have very fast cars. Always saw him fighting around the top 5, and being in the pole, that's definitely the top 5 for him, but it's a little bit more than just the top 5, and he feels good so far. But of course, there's plenty of time for another driver to knock him off of that top spot. We have just over 5.5 minutes remaining. This is the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by Nailcoat Hall, GridFinder.com, Driver61, and GT Omega. Big thank you to our sponsors for jumping on board, supporting the league and the stream as a whole.
Tadelli has moved up to third place now with a 127.947. That's a good time. Just watching Russman in 17th place at the moment. Struggling at the moment in bottom half of the grid, to be fair. So just see what time he can try and do up to the second sector into the third. Hopefully we'll have a bit of a classic for the Aston Martin driving forward tonight. 1 second quicker, so at the moment could be in a 28.4, so possibility in the top 7 the way it looks. So he's coming up to down the straight at the third sector, needs to get a good exit at the last corner at turn 15. This is a point now where he has to push on now, hit that DRS and get that boost on as well. 27.9 moves up to 4th place, Tim.
Now taking a look at his teammate of Smoke, also in the Aston Martin, and he is in the third and final sector. So far, so good. Looking on his lap, he is down in 18th position with a 129.567, but him and Russman, they're very close on pace. So let's see if Smoke can improve his lap time as he's going down the very long straightaway. Smoke waiting until the very last minute to upshift to the 8th gear, then goes down the gears very quickly, and Smoke is a driver who really does downshift quickly. It's just the difference in his driving style is pretty incredible, and as he crosses the line, he will go to 8th, a 128.438. Let's take a look now at Sir Spud, who is going out there on the medium compound tire. Sir Spud just now crossing the line, and he goes to 11th, a 128.660. 11th is strategic pole, but will he be able to keep it?
That's a tough question. You got a couple of drivers who are on the medium tire as well, like JP and Tal 92 as well. So, and also you got Nitrogas and Azura X as well to watch out for as well. So, interesting to see how everything goes from that perspective. But so Spud has been in the Performance League for a very, very, very long time. I have to call him the veteran as well, to be fair. But we'll hopefully wait and see how everything goes. Hopefully he'll have a better season than last season. But bear in mind, though, a good stat, actually, not from Sir Spud. With the Performance League, it doesn't matter if you win all the races or anything like that. What's good about it is we had different winners in majority of the season a couple of times now. Do you think, well, one, do you think we will have that again this season? And two, with the Performance League, even if you got many wins, you still won't win the title, as what Nitrogash did with 5 wins last season. So it's been it's just madness stuff, Tim.
Well, if Nitrogash got 5 wins last season, then I think I need to update my statistics sheet, because that means that he himself is now tied with Sir Spud as well for 3rd on the all-time win list. But, you know, it's a good point that you bring up, Malk, and, you know, that is true, but that's also true not just in the Performance League, but in racing and motorsports in general, is that consistency really pays off, and consistency is what wins championships. So it doesn't matter if you go out there and win a bunch of races. If the races that you didn't win, you finished poorly, then it can be a detriment to your championship hopes. Case in point, as a real-life example, would be the 2003 NASCAR season, where Ryan Newman won 8 races. However, he finished poorly in the races he didn't win. So, Matt Kenseth actually won the championship that year with only 1 single win and a lot of consistent finishes.
That's the crucial point of it all. It's the consistency. And if you get that spot on, no one could argue and could have a chance. I'm just watching Saab now, about to cross over the line. Moves up to 2nd, actually, by 1,000 a second ahead of BXN Roberts. That's a good time. Now the times are kicking in now. 1 minute 17 left. Can anyone try and stop Michael Luke? Now, David 46 has invalidated his lap, so he's got 1 chance saloon for him to do a good time around Bahrain at the Sakia circuit as well. Sakia circuit, unbelievable stuff. And I can't believe it. This is where the pressure is building up. The pressure is mounting, especially when drivers who have been here for a very long time in the Performance League and they're not up to their standards. I'm surprised. I know the drivers are in their different car allocations, so I understand that, but I expect them a little bit higher, to be fair, like Spud, Matty as well. You know, there's quite a few drivers. Stephen as well, 19 players, which I'm really shocked at, to be fair. He's probably don't like this track at all, Tim.
You know what? Bahrain is kind of it would not be professional for me to say what I want to say about Bahrain, so I'm just going to nod. But what I will say is we're watching Toei as he goes out of the final corner, and as he crosses the line, he's going to go to 7th, a 128.047. But Mount, if you can't tell, I really just don't like Bahrain.
I did not know that, mate. I really did not know that at all. Well, we'll hope we'll try and get this done as soon as possible. Michael is just doing his lap now to try and improve his 127.7, but the qualifying is now stopped now, guys. The qualifying is now stopped. Ooh, JP moves up to 2nd place. Misses out by a 10th. Oh no, David 46 moves up to 2nd. That's where he was under a lot of pressure. He misses out by 200 of a second. Delange, what's happened to him?
Disqualified from the session for going the wrong way. Oh my goodness, that is not what we needed. And Tadeli, a new driver, 127.622, shoots to the top of the board, knocks Michael Luke down. No way will Michael Luke get the podium or get the pole now, or maybe so actually, because he is on a lap. My apologies, I mislooked at the board. So Michael Luke, this is going to be his last chance.
200 of a second now. Michael Luke now coming down the straight in the 3rd sector. Can he try and beat Tadeli's time with a 127.622? All he needs is just a 10th more. Needs to push now. Saab has retired. Nitrogas to Spud Delange now, and oh no, he does not. He's improved by 5,000 of a second, Tim, but does not improve his time. Where's JP? JP's coming up to the final corner now. Down the straight now. This could be close. Oh, oh my days! JP moves up to third with 127.711. Misses out by 1,000 of a second, Tim. 1,000 of a second. Where's Ginger Tiger now? Ginger Tiger's just about to go back into the pits. Oh my God! What a qualifying scenario, Tim.
And Tedeli, and someone please correct me if I'm wrong, should be his first race in the Performance League, gets the pole with a 127.622.
Correct, and he's an F2 pace driver as well. So Tedeli, first race, first qualifying, first pole.
Maybe it's going to be his first win.
We'll wait and see. We don't want to do the commentator's curse this early in this stage, Tim. You know what happens with commentator's curse.
Well, I know that Joe Hamster remembers Silverstone.
Oh yeah, Joe Hamster will not be happy with me after a couple of times said, oh yeah, he's doing fine, he's doing a great race, then all of a sudden he crashed at, I think it was Luffield, I think it was, but so we'll talk more of that after the qualifying. Sorry, Tim.
So your official finishing results for the qualifying, your official starting lineup for the Bahrain Grand Prix is going to be Tedeli on pole, Michael Luke in second, JP in third, David 46 in fourth. So my apologies, it's David 46, not David 49. Russman 88 in fifth, Sab in sixth, seventh is BXN Roberts, Nitro Gash in eighth, Toei in ninth, Speed Queen 80 in 10th, Turok in 11th, Ginger Tiger in 12th, Sunboy in 13th, Smoke in 14th, Sir Spud in 15th, Maddie in 16th, O Steven in 17th, 18th is Azura and Delange in the 19th position, a disqualification due to an unfortunate technical error. But Delange, it doesn't matter where you start, it only matters where you finish, it only matters where you're running when you cross the line at the end of that final lap.
Absolutely, and people forget, the drivers forget, you can never win a race by the first lap on the first corner, but you can always lose it. But that's what's the old motto, the old saying as well. Okay. So I reckon the pit stop strategy, as I said earlier on, I reckon the pit stop strategy would be the one stop for the ones that are outside the top 10. But I reckon in the top 10, I reckon there'll be a two stop, depending on how everyone goes. Tim, you always say this to me last season, the first top three. Who's your top three tonight?
I'm going to have to go in any order. Michael Luke, JP, and Ginger Tiger.
Ooh, okay.
Actually, no, Russman. Let's go Russman. He got 5th place there at the very end of that qualifying session, and thinking that he might be fairly quick.
I reckon Tedeli, Michael Luke, and I was going to say, I don't know. It's very tough. I think, yeah, I'll go with Russman as well. So yeah, I reckon those three will be the ones to watch out for. But again, we've been rubbish with our predictions last few times last season, so we'll have to wait and see how everything goes. But
I'll be honest, I don't actually keep track of our predictions. Maybe we should start doing that, actually, Malk. We need to start keeping track of our predictions and see how many times we get it right, because I just do it for fun at this point.
Yeah, and then we could have a banter at the end to say who is the best predictor of the commentators ever, to be fair. So we'll have to wait and see how everything goes. So, like I said with Bahrain, some of the corners you need to watch out for, as I said, turn one to watch out for at the start, turn 4 after the DRS straight, turn 6, which is like through the S's, but then people need to watch out, because we had a few occasions last season where people spun out, so they've got to watch out for that as well. So, and then turn 9, turn 10, where it's like the hairpin corner, like the sharp left corner before the second DRS straight, and then and then down the main, which is just after turn 14, 15, I think it was. So we have to wait and see how everything goes. So it looks like we're about to start the epic, the first ever race of the brand new season of the Invictus Racing League. So let's get on, Tim. Let's go for it.
And what a fantastic race it is going to be shaping up to be. Let's just wait and see. Formation lap is starting now. Few new drivers, a lot of new teams, a lot of familiar faces, but still one ultimate goal: to win this race, put yourself in the best position for a very good season for yourself. Of course, the ultimate goal being the championship win, but you got to think, though, in the race, you're not really worried so much about the championship. You're worried about winning that race. And I've always, as much as championships, as far as they go, as much as they matter, it's almost like people remember the wins more. The individual race wins. They almost remember them more. Not quite, but it's a very close second.
Yeah, it's the unpredictable moments or the unpredictable race results that you thought that we would predict. Like, for example, like Michael could win the race, but then he struggled throughout the season itself. So it's just a matter of have they stepped up a gear? You know, the experienced drivers in the Performance League, have they stepped up a gear to know what to expect, or have they gone backwards from last season? I hope not. But I feel bad for Delange though, because he had that disqualification. I'm not sure what for, but unfortunately for him, he's going to have to start himself right back in the grid. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's the only driver in this season that he's won the title of the Performance League. So that's in this league this season. So.
Well, what about Sir Spud? Has Sir Spud ever gotten a championship? Because that would have been before I started commentating.
He won the F3. He has not won the Performance. He had chances to win twice. And I will keep asking him and remind him about that until he actually wins the championship itself. So he had chances to win twice, but. I need him to. I want him to do well. I want everyone to do well, to be fair. So you never know what's going to happen. I reckon. I just hope there'll be no issues at turn 1, and we're going to get a good race. Oh, Matty has had a disqualification throughout the formation lap, so he'll have cold tyres to start with. That's not good news for Matty at the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix for the Performance League. So Tim. The drivers are going to their grids. I'll do this for you each and every week. Pass it over to you for the start of the race.
And an honor it is each and every week. Now the drivers finding their appropriate positions on the grid. The first race of the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League's brand new season about to be underway. 29 laps around the Bahrain circuit and 29 laps of nail-biting action it is going to be. But if you think that you're anxious, just think about what it's like to be one of the drivers, especially that brand new driver to Delhi on the pole. But here we go. You hear those easy driving. You hear those itchy pedal feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Bahrain Grand Prix. Michael Luke in the Mercedes already getting a better start. And oh my goodness, who was that went into the wall in the back? That was the Ferrari of O'Steven already out. Is that a safety car and a 5-second penalty for a couple of drivers now for severe collisions with Russman? Speed Queen 80 gets a 5-second time penalty. David 46 has got a time penalty. Maddie has got a time penalty. Sab has got a time penalty. Everybody has got a time penalty. It's like we're watching Oprah. To Delhi and Michael Luke, your top 2 though still, but we are under a virtual safety car at the moment. And my goodness, already calamity starting, and we didn't even make it to turn 1.
I said, let's hope we don't have any dramatic moments or issues to start off with. I think we've just did our first commentator's curse, to be fair, and that was really unfortunate. I think there must be a tangle between us, Stephen, and it looks like it might have been from Matty, hence why he had the penalty of the collision. So we'll have to find out what's going to happen. Well, I have got it recorded, so that'll have to be checked. But the virtual safety car has ended, so quite a few drivers are all going for it now. JP's going, the big contact between Russman and David 46. Russman going around the outside. Brilliant stuff. Comes around to turn 12. Now into W46. I don't know if he's got damage limitations, but I think he might have got damage because he's really slowing down. He really is slowing down. I don't know why, but Speed Queen moves herself up to 7th place. Nigel Cash goes up back up to 5th place, ahead of JP. But what a battle for 5th, Tim.
What a battle indeed, and Russman, the big winner there, moving up to the 4th position, making a move on the outside, then making a move on the inside, and with no time penalties to hold him back, at least for the time being. He is looking very good for this race so far. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is starting to shape up. Michael Luke, 4/10 of a second behind Tadelli, and let's see what he's going to be able to do. Tries to go a little bit wide, forcing that issue, but not too much. Stays within the track limits, but still cannot get close enough to make a move.
It looks like there's been a problem with Nojagash. He must have got pushed out wide at turn 1, and then as soon as he came back into the track itself, he got caught by another driver. I think that might be Towel 92, or correct me if I'm wrong. I will have to look back later on, but I believe there's Nojagash, who had a good start. He's dropped himself down to 14th place, Tim.
So riding aboard now with Toei 92, and he is following his car-allocated teammate of Sab just ahead of him, who is in a battle with Speed Queen 80. That's for the 5th position. Of course, both of those drivers having at least 5 seconds worth of time penalties due to collisions at the start. Not sure what time penalties may or may not be removed by the stewards after the race. I did see a few drivers being awarded time. Oh my goodness, it's Speed Queen 80. She is spun.
Oh!
She is spun in the 3rd sector. Has not hit the wall, so she's going to be okay, but she is going to have to get that car turned around very, very quickly. Otherwise, she risks a disqualification. She does get the car turned around, but she is in the 14th place, a far cry from where she was in the top 5 before.
Yeah, hopefully she'll get back into the race as soon as possible now. But Saab goes ahead of Tao for 5th place just before the DRS race. The DRS should be enabled now. Just trying to see what everything goes to Spud. So Spud's going upside. 2 in the bed moment now between himself and Tarak. So Spud with that experience gives them ahead, but it looks like Azure X trying to battle it out with Tarak in 10th place. Oh my god, we could have another 2 in the bed moment. And Azure X goes up ahead into turn 4. Good move there, Tim.
Now riding on board with the Alpine driver, but cannot get back around the McLaren. Tarak versus Azura. And that was for P10, as you said, Mouth, but it's a 4-car battle pretty much for the 8th position, all the way going up to Sir Spud. So it's Spud, Sun Boy, Azuril, and Tarak all in a nose-to-tail fight, and DRS should be active. It's lap 3, so we're about to see the first chugga-chugga-choo-choo train of the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League season. There you go. The rear wings are open. It's a DRS train if I've ever seen one. No positions being made up. The McLaren of Azuril, though, getting a little bit closer to Sunboy.
Yeah, classic, Tim. That was absolute classic. We have to see who's going to win the choo-choo battle itself. But remember, last season we always hate the choo-choo battles because there's so many battles. Oh, Joel's not messed about. He's going to ahead into turn 14, 15, and he got the move done. Tao's got a 131.315 as the fastest lap of the race. But Sunboy now getting himself close to the battle. Let's see what he can try and do now. But that was a good move from Azure X with the McLaren driver. So one driver doing a really good job. One of the newcomers of this season. I believe he is an F3 paced driver, team.
And, you know, it's an interesting point that you make there, Mouth, because that's what some of our viewers may not understand, is that in the Performance League, it doesn't matter what pace you are, you can still race in the Performance League, and you will be allocated appropriately to the best of the admin's abilities according to your pace. So we have, you know, F2 drivers and F3 drivers in here. I'm saying we might even have some F1 drivers racing with us, so it's really just a nice mixed bag of different drivers' paces that we're seeing here.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully we'll get a few more battles. Oh my god, we've got a 2-wide scenario between Russman and BXN Roberts. Russman tried to do what he did earlier on, before at turn 11 into turn 12 as well. So Russman really going for it. Tadelli is still holding on against Michael in that Mercedes, and actually he's got himself ahead. And Russman goes up ahead of BXN Roberts, coming up to. Well, Azuril has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Let's just have a look at this battle between Russman and BXN Roberts. BXN Roberts goes side now, going ahead with that. With that DRS, Michael's dropped himself down to second place. Tadelli moves up to first place again. Towel moves up to fifth, again ahead of Sab, who's doing a fantastic race so far. Sab, go on! Oh, go on, Sab! You can do it if you B&Q it! Go on! You need this. Oh, go on, go round the outside! Go on! This goes upside too in a bad moment still. But this still goes, oh, fair play, Sab. Fair play. Well done to you, mate. Nice one. That was a good battle with the two Red Bulls, Tim.
Very fantastic battle there. Sab moving up into the 5th position, and Sab so far looking very good. Of course, here is our update on the time penalty. Sab himself does have 5 seconds that unfortunately he will have to serve during his first pit stop, and Azuril with 8 seconds, and then Sir Spud down there in 9th with 5. Those are the 3 drivers who do have time penalties on the board. No one with track limits yet, but look at the Red Bull of Toei going back around Sab, or at least trying to on that inside. It's a side-by-side battle between the 2 Red Bulls, car-allocated teammates, but not actual teammates, and neither of them are going to give each other an inch. Oh my goodness, just enough racing room there, but Sab forces him a little bit wide, but now Sab himself goes wide. That allows Toei to do the crossover move Toei back up into the 5th position.
Well, let's hope Tal can try and hold on for 5th place, because Sab will have that DRS advantage. Oh, it's getting close. Michael's getting ahead of Tadelli in 1st place. Well, actually, Tadelli's going something into the pits. I do apologise, getting ahead of myself there.
Russman like just made a move around BXN Roberts for the 2nd position. Russman came out of nowhere. I swear, Russman just makes himself invisible until he's ready to make an overtake, and then he is just right there.
I have to call him the silent assassin, the way it looks at the minute, because you never know what's going to happen next. Saab got himself back to 4th place. He could have a chance, a good opportunity for a podium, depending on what happens with the penalties after the end of the race itself, because there were so many penalties that happened during that virtual safety car at the start of the first lap itself. So we've got this battle, we've got Russman, BX and Roberts battle for the 2nd and 3rd. We've got Saab Towel in 4th and 5th. So Spud's got himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple wins. And then also we've got a 3-car battle for 6th place with Smoke, Azuril and Sir Spud. Tim.
Just taking a look at our pole sitter there for just a moment. Up to Delhi back in the 13th position. Now taking a look at Sir Spud and Azuril and Smoke, the battle that you were talking about. And oh, Sir Spud was a little bit wide there, so he might pick up another time penalty here soon. I'm sure that was a warning. He went off the track. Azuril, though, starting to slowly close in on Smoke. 0.4 of a second separating those 2 drivers. Of course, they were stuck in a DRS train, and well, sadly, they're going to be stuck in a DRS train here on the front straightaway as well. The question is, will Smoke be able to keep the McLaren behind him? Smoke, he's a smart driver. He's very sharp. He knows how to defend and he knows how to race. But if you are the leading car when it comes to that DRS train, there's nothing you can do. You are a sitting duck. You can make sure that your foot is on the throttle. You can have all the ERS in the world, but sometimes a little bit less drag is just no match for whatever defense mechanism you can do, and there you see it happening clear and plain as day. The McLaren goes around Smoke into turn number 1. Smoke has no choice but to let him through, but now Smoke can at least try to attack the McLaren once again.
Oh, the 2 Red Bulls are going side again. Sorry, Tim. They're going side again at turn 4. Saab holding on for dear life against Tao. Unbelievable scenes. Smoke lost out to 6, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. He's lost out to 6 to Azuril, but he's under a lot of pressure from Sir Spud, Tim.
That he is. He's in P7 right now, Sir Spud in P8, and Smoke just cannot get back up to that McLaren. He might have an opportunity to do so here on the DRS straightaway. The McLaren is going to be pretty much a sitting duck here. The question is if the McLaren has got more pace than what Smoke does, and it's looking like he does. Smoke is just no way near close enough to even think about making a move. The DRS helps him some, but definitely not as much as he needed to.
Yeah, hopefully he'll try and use that advantage to get himself challenging to Azuril in 6th place, the McLaren driver. But I'm going to have to go back to the battle between the 2 Red Bulls, because they're getting close to BX and Roberts, who, correct me if I'm wrong, Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like BX and Roberts could be going to the pit. Yeah, he is. He's going to the pits. He's going to the pits. And now Saab and Towles goes up into third and fourth respectively, Tim.
So on board with one of the Red Bulls who is chasing the other Red Bull, a double Red Bull in our viewfinder, I guess you could say right now, and it is going to be Toei who's going to be able to get that DRS on his car allocated teammate of Saab once again. Saab finds himself in the third position. Toei cannot make the move this time, but he gets right up to the gearbox of that Red Bull.
He's trying everything he can, Tal. He is trying everything he can to get himself getting close to Saab, who's doing a fantastic race so far in the Bahrain Grand Prix. At the moment, it's absolutely insane stuff. To be fair, though, so I'm just watching this battle between Azure, Smoke, and Spud while you're watching that battle of the Red Bulls. We'll find out who's got some wings later, Tim.
Mount, do you remember a few years ago the video posted on YouTube about double rainbows?
Double rainbows? Yes, I think so.
Well, the 2022 version is double Red Bull.
Yeah.
And
we'll
that's
see.
Just what it's been.
Yeah.
The past 5 laps, it feels like. It's just constant switching between positions of Saab and Toei. And, you know, I think that we're not done seeing it. We're going to probably see another move going into turn number 1 because Toei is getting a lot better exits off of these corners than what Saab is able to.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see how everything goes now. But hopefully Saab will try and hold on for third place, but will struggle on the DRS zone. Hopefully he'll have that experience. So Spud now. So Spud is getting close to Smoke into 6th place. He could have a double. He had to buy one. Can he get one free offer? No, he won't. Not yet. Not yet at all. He still just had the first move, which is against Smoke for 6th place, Tim.
So Smoke really struggling here, not sure exactly what's going on with him. Maybe it's the pace of the Aston Martin, or who knows, it could just be his setup. I do know Smoke does not agree with Bahrain. He had, unfortunately, an abysmal race here on Tuesday in the F2 Series League. He actually had a good finish lined up for him, but unfortunately a small mistake saw him enter the wall and DNFing from the session. So far, though, having a better race today, albeit in the 7th position, and trying to find a way back around Sir Spud, but it is a bit concerning to see him dropping, and now Sunboy is retired. Something has happened to the Haas driver, and I think that's
crashed
just off of our camera. I was not able to see that, but unfortunately the Haas driver is now out of the session.
Unfortunately, Tim, he has crashed at the side before turn 8. So, unfortunately for Sunboy now, he is out of the race. So, he joined with O'Steven. But the driver that I said at the start of the race we felt bad for, which was Delange, with that qualifying ban. The qualifying disqualification. Now he's moved up to 8th place with all the drivers who have pitted now. That's still an impressive drive from Delange, who after that unfortunate disqualification.
Yeah, and it's just such a shame, but sometimes that is what happens, at least for Sunboy. Of course, you were mentioning Delange, and it's good to see him up in the P8 position. Just had my mind still stuck on the Haas driver there, but now my mind's stuck on this McLaren driver trying to get by Sir Spud. A side-by-side battle. The McLaren pretty much making easy work of Sir Spud, so move. Oh, no, he's not actually. Sir Spud battles hard on the outside. A side-by-side battle, and Sir Spud uses that momentum to carry him into the top 5. Good job to Sir Spud. Now Smoke trying to throw his hat into the ring, which he's pretty much stayed here the whole time, and he might have a chance at this McLaren once again down the DRS straight. The fact that these two are battling so hard will pay dividends for Smoke. It's going to bring these cars pretty much back to him, and it'll give him a chance to at least pounce on it. Oh, and some contact as the McLaren gets into the back of Sir Spud, and Smoke almost gets collected. Sir Spud using the Smoke using the DRS to his advantage, but not able to get by the McLaren. However, does Azuril have any wing damage whatsoever? Trying to get a look on that McLaren, cannot see any visible wing damage at the moment, so I think that he just dodged a major bullet there.
Dodged, definitely. Hopefully he'll keep going as well. But this Red Bull battle, closing in on Russman now for 2nd place. I'm wondering when these guys are going to pit in at this stage, because whatever happens, they will pit. Oh, they've all pit. Oh, the two one of the Red Bulls of Saab and Russman, they have both pitted now, Tim. They've both been pitted. So now it's moves to Spud on that mean tyre, moves up to 3rd, Tim.
And arguably the medium tire is what you want to start on, but the secret is having the pace, and it seems as though these three drivers certainly do, especially Azurl, who I am very impressed with today. Of course, Azurl, pretty sure that this is his very first start in the Performance League, and so far looking pretty good in the top 5.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job at the moment. Again, we don't want to jinx or anything just yet, Tim, but he's done a good job at the moment. Same with Tadele, and he's on the medium tire, so he's going to go, you would think, go all the way to the end, but you just hope to try and use those tyre wear as much as possible. But the one that confused me the most, and I didn't mention it at the start, was Tarak on the hard tyres, Tim. When he started on those hard tyres, where everyone else went for mediums and softs at the start. Do you think that was a bad move for Tarak?
Well, honestly, Malg, I believe that all three tire compounds can be viable. But I am noticing that Tarak being only in the 8th position right now, as you see him there on your screen, while he is locked in a little bit of a battle with our pole sitter of Tadele, I'm just not sure if it was. I feel like in order to make that a good move, he would need to ideally be somewhere a little bit closer to the top 5. Of course, there's really no universal good strategy, bad strategy. The strategy that wins you the race and gets you a good position is good, no matter what it is. If you can make 10 pit stops and still finish in the podium, then I think you've done pretty good. Granted, that's highly unlikely. So to answer your question, the short version, Map, which I'm obviously incapable of, is we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see how it goes as well. Sab got into the pits and he got onto the soft tyre, so I think that's I don't know whether that's he's going to go for the 2-stop or what, but if it was a mistake, that's from the pit crew, then I would have a word with the pit crew afterwards, but that could have a damage limitations for him, because he's lost out to Towel, who already pitted a lap later, because obviously Sab had to pit on a lap 10, I believe, so I'm hoping that's not going to cause any havoc later on in this race, but hopefully funny enough, we've not had the safety car properly, the full safety car. We've had the virtual one this first time this season, but we've not had the safety car just yet. We could have had the chance when Sunboy got off, but it was just enough to get off the track itself. But Russ Manning goes up ahead into 6th place against Michael, so he moves up to 6th place now, so interesting stuff. So, but yeah, Tim, what a classic race so far.
And it's been very interesting. We're seeing a lot of a mixed bag of pit strategy currently, though. We're watching Towie, BX, and Roberts and Michael Luke having a 3-car battle, and Towie trying to make a little bit of a move on the inside on that Alpine, not able to do it, but might have an opportunity here, using that DRS to his advantage, and passes Roberts like he's sitting still. My goodness, Roberts, of course, they're trying to fight back hard on that outside line, just not quite going to be able to do anything with it. Towie trying to make a move on the inside of Michael Luke. Will he be able to get it? No, he does not. He has to back out of it. So there goes Michael Luke off into the distance, while Towie has no choice but to defend against Roberts now. But another DRS zone will at least give both of these drivers an opportunity for overtakes, but nothing will come of it this time around. Michael Luke, though, I'm trying to figure out who is going to cycle back to the lead once the driver's ahead pit. And if I'm correct, it would be that Mercedes of Michael Luke.
Yes, at the moment it will be once everyone else is pitted. No, Tadele will be ahead of Michael, so Tadele will still be ahead, but Michael has got the 6-lap advantage. David 46 has dropped himself. Always had a spin. He's had a spin after turn 7. Oh no, after turn 6, I believe, sorry. So yeah, well, hopefully he'll bounce back. He's just going back onto the track now, so no issues on the track itself. But so far, so good, Tim. Tadele could be on for his first. He had his first pole. Could he get on to his first win? As you said at the start, well, just after when we did the qualifying, I said it's going to be a tough order, but at the moment, he's doing a stellar job. At the moment, I don't want to jinx it anymore, Tim. I really don't want to jinx it.
Well, meanwhile, Sir Spud pits from the lead, going on the hard tire compound, so he definitely will be able to make it to the end of the race. So Smoke, Delange, and Tadelli, your top three at the moment, as Toey's trying to make a move on the inside of Michael Luke once again into turn number 1. Not able to do it, but a little bit of a better exit this time might give him a better chance into turn number 3. DRS is active, rear wing is wide open. The Red Bull going underneath the Mercedes. Oh my goodness, it's not like we've ever seen that before. But there goes Toei around Michael Luke. But will Michael Luke get the momentum on the outside? Yes, he does, but not enough. Toei will clear Michael Luke, move him up into the 5th position.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll try and hold on for dear life. But there's so many from between. There's so many battles going on. You've got Tadelli, Tarak, that battle with Delange just ahead for second place. You've got Tao, Michael, Bixen, Roberts, and Sab. They're all bunched up together. Hopefully, we'll try and see some unbelievable moments. Oh, Sab! Looked like Sab was getting close and close to Bixen, Roberts, but he got the momentum going. Just watching it from his perspective now. Like Bixen, Roberts just had a tad early braking, but Sab could have the opportunity to get ahead of Bixen, Roberts. So just waiting to see what he's going to try and do. Sab, it looks like Tao's going to be under a lot of pressure from Michael ahead, but Sab with the soft tyre, you have to push on now, and he is moves up to 7th place. Michaels goes up ahead, and Tadelli he's going up ahead of Delange. Yeah, he has. What a move, actually, from turn 1, Tim.
Good job there, but now Sab is still fighting hard with Bixen Roberts. He finally does clear him, so moves Sab up into the 7th position. And meanwhile, Toei's still trying to fight Michael Luke, not able to do it this time, so very much like a couple of laps ago. So Michael Luke in 5th, Toei now in the 6th position. We'll go back and join Tadelli and Delange. Delange down in the 3rd position, Tadelli in 2nd. Smoke, of course, up there in the lead. So there's your leader there in the Aston Martin of Smoke. Likely will be pitting fairly soon. About 14-15 laps is about as long as you want to be able to take those medium tires. The soft tires, of course, can last anywhere from 10 to 12 laps, depending on your setup, driving style, and tire wear. Of course, a lot of variables there, depending on tire wear, but approximately 10 to 12 should be the expected window. So Sab having to pit early on those soft tires, he's definitely going for a 2-stop strategy, which means that he's going to have to be very, very aggressive in these next 10 laps or so before he goes back onto what will likely be another set of softs if he has them available. Otherwise, it will have to be pretty much whatever his freshest compound attire is. So Sab in the 7th place, and really not in DRS range of Toei, unfortunately, and that is going to be a big detriment to his race, and starting to wonder if maybe the 2-stop strategy was not the way to go. But, like we said earlier, it's not where you're running. It's not where you start. The only thing that matters is where you're running at the end of the race, as we see Toei make a move on Michael Luke. Michael Luke fights back hard on the outside, turns into the inside, so Michael will clear Toei. So move him back up into the 5th position, but Toei going to use the DRS to try to get around the Mercedes. However, the Mercedes actually got the DRS
Delange
that time.
Sorry, Tarak and Delange having a great battle for 3rd place, so Delange has dropped himself down to 4th. So the tyre wear is kicking in right now for Delange, and hopefully for Smoke, because that's where the issue's going to be with the tyre wear itself. I do apologise, Tim, I didn't mean to interrupt you there at all during that scene, but it was a great battle, to be fair. But Tarak and Delange, Tarak just goes ahead into turn 4, but Delange needs to hold on if he wants to try and go as long as possible with those medium tires. I reckon he'll go in the next 2 laps, Tim.
So now going back to Michael Luke and Toei, but really not a lot going on there now. It's more so Michael Luke and Delange. Delange going the wrong way on the racetrack, pretty much just dropping back further and further, about to lose the 4th position to Michael Luke. So Michael having a lot of fun, I'd say, right now, picking off these cars one by one while defending Toei. Of course, we say it's fun. It's fun for us to watch. It's probably nerve-wracking and stressful for Michael to have to deal with, but nonetheless, he's going to have the DRS off of that Alfa Romeo and will likely make quick work of him, passes him like he's sitting still. The question is, will the Red Bull of Toei be able to do the same thing as Delange drops to 5th? Now will he drop to 6th? There goes Toei around the Alfa Romeo, and he will also lose that position. So Toei gets into 5th. Delange drops down to 6th. So 2 spots lost in just one straightaway. I think it's time to pit.
You're definitely right there, Tim. You're definitely right, because otherwise he's going to lose out a few more positions, because BXN Roberts is getting chasing Delange in the next, probably by the time we hit the second DRS scenario, which is after turn 10. We'll have to wait and see how everything goes. But unbelievable scenes now. I can't believe that this is lap 17 of 29. It's just been insane. It's been that quick, to be fair. So, let's hope we have some more unbelievable moments, shall we say. Hopefully we'll have some more unbelievable moments. Saab has pitted now. Saab has pitted and dropped down to 13th place. So he's going to have to work hard now to get through the people who have pitted earlier on. And we'll try and get a good result. But remember, the points, as far as we know, the points, whatever position that you finish in, will guarantee points as long as you finish. If you have a DNF or a DSQ, or if you don't finish at all, you won't get any points. Remember that, Tim.
And remember this, Malcolm, Michael Luke on the back of Tarak. You heard it here first, because he's about to make a move. Oh, he gets a little bit loose, though. Maybe not this time. And there goes around Michael Luke is Toei, who's going to be making the move on the Alpine. And now Michael gets the job done. And will he be able to get the job done on Toei, too? Yes, he does. Oh, my goodness. Michael Luke will... Actually, he won't. He has to back out of it going into turn number 1. But he'll be close to the Red Bull. He'll have an opportunity to make a move into turn number 3. But the Alpine of Tarak fighting back hard on those hard tires. No pun intended. But Michael Luke doesn't care what was intended. All he knows is he wants to get back by that Red Bull.
Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully he'll try and get through. Hopefully get through as quickly as possible. The only driver that's not pitted yet, Tim, is Tarak in 4th place. So you have to somehow pit at some point during the race. Might be in this lap or maybe the next one. We'll have to wait and see how everything goes. But he will have the DRS if everything goes to plan. But Michael will be if I was him, I'd be absolutely livid when he lost the back end at turn 15, Tim.
Oh, I know. I've been pretty livid myself when I've made mistakes such as that, except my mistakes usually end in more catastrophic results. So Michael Luke is already way ahead of the game than I am, and he's about to be maybe a little bit more ahead. If he can keep close to this Red Bull, he should have an opportunity to use the DRS to get back around him. We've been saying the same old song and dance all day long, but that's pretty much how it works out, especially at Bahrain, as you rely heavily on those DRS zones to overtake and make moves. Some tracks you might be able to get away with sizing up a competitor and setting up an overtake without a DRS zone. Bahrain, not one of those tracks.
Absolutely not. Here comes Michael now. Michael's got no ERS, but he's going to go for it at turn 1. No, he backed out last minute. He tried everything he can to get the slipstream and get close to Tal, but cannot do it. Cannot do it at all. Saab's getting close to Azure for 10th place, but Saab has got the fastest lap of the race again. He's getting these fastest lap. Perfect stuff. With a 1:30, I believe it was. So well done to Saab. He's moved up to 10th, Tim.
So Tadeli, Tal, and Michael Luke, your top 3, with Tarak, Dixon, Roberts, your top 5. This is the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by Nelco Hall, GridFinder.com, Driver61, and GT Omega. Big thank you to our sponsors for jumping on board, supporting the stream and the league as a whole. Currently, you are watching Michael Luke. Oh, and that was the Alpine. Who was that? That was Tarak. Yes, Tarak is spun. So, no, it was... Who was it?
I think that might be Tarak. Actually, yeah, there is Tarak. Yeah, it is Tarak. Correct me if I'm wrong, sorry Tim. That was Tarak. He lost down the back end on turn 10. I tell you what, he should know by now. You would think the hard times should go a little bit longer than before, but now Tarak would need to think about pitting as soon as possible, Tim.
And like I said, you can take these soft tires about 10 to 12 laps. Smoke actually being a living and breathing example of that, as he took the medium tires about 16 laps, and now he's got 1 lap on his set of soft tires, so he will be going to the end. It should be about 11 laps on those tires when we get to the end. Oh, and Sab is out of the session, a DNF. No points for him today. What happened?
I didn't catch what happened to him, but it looks like we've got our first safety car of the evening. Saab, after turn 14, I think it was 14, 15, he lost the back end and hit the wall on the right side, and it looks like he has lost the wheel. Yeah, he has. He's lost the wheel as well. So Saab unlucky for him. He is out of the Bahrain Grand Prix, joining with Sunboy and O'Steven. And now we've got our first safety car of the evening, Tim.
And this helps Tarak and JP out massively. Those two drivers in the top 5 on the hard compound tires now have an opportunity to pit, assuming with the leaders who will likely pit this time for a brand new fresh set of softs. They will now be on equal footing with the leaders. Now it's going to be all about driver pace. Now, unfortunately for BX and Roberts there, he does have a 3-second time penalty. That will be added on at the end of the race. Nothing he can do about that. His best thing he can hope for is a fresh set of softs and a 3-second gap behind him.
Yeah, I'm just worried because I'm just worried about some of the drivers. Tarak has got to pit anyway. I'm wondering if Tal and Michael are going to pit as well. Will these guys follow, or will they gamble and hold on? I'm worried if they do. It looks like Michael's going to the pits. BX and Roberts going to the pits. Tarak should go to the pits, yeah. So Tal is the only one, and Smoke could have a chance to pit Tal for the win. He's got the fresh tyre. Well, you would think the fresh tyres at the moment, but depending on if JP gets through, or it looks like Tadeli's already on those fresh softs. He could get ahead. Actually, he has. He's got himself ahead of Michael. And Delange at the back of the grid with that qualifying disqualification. He's got a chance to get himself with a podium tonight, Tim.
So 2 laps on those soft tires for Delange, but we're at the end of the race, and under safety car laps, it won't be as much of a detriment. However, fresh tires are still obviously the preferred option if possible. So Tadeli, he might have a bit of an advantage over Smoke and Delange, but Michael Luke back there in 5th, you better be sure to keep your eye on him. Of course, BX and Roberts having to go for the fresh set of medium tires. Otherwise, most drivers took the fresh set of soft Dr. Feelgoods, and now we are about ready to...
Yes.
You were rating on that one, weren't you, Malk?
Yes, I was. Dr. Feelgood tires. Yes. Very nice, very nice.
Now just waiting on everybody to catch the safety car cue, and hopefully we can go back racing as soon as realistically possible. Just got to wait for each and every car to be in a nice single file line. So I guess we're going back to school now, Malk.
Are we?
I guess so. We're going to have to... we have to form into a single file line, and... well, if you stray from that line too far, then, well, the teacher's going to yell at you. But in this scenario, the teacher is the FIA.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so the drivers are trying to warm up their tyres, and they have to be in their positions. Otherwise, they'll get a penalty if they don't follow the rules in the F1 racing itself. But I cannot believe we've got about 9 laps remaining. I'm worried about Tal. Tal's the only one, unless I'm mistaken, Tal's the only one. I know some of the drivers already pitted earlier on, but Tal did not pit where everyone else, majority of them, we'll have to wait and see how everything goes. But Tal will be under a lot of pressure, and just hope that the safety car is going to last a few more laps for him, to be fair, because by the looks of things, I think the safety car will get in on this lap, Tim.
And Malk, it appears as though you are having a little bit of audio issues, but while you work that out, I will echo your sentiment that Tal is in a little bit of a less than ideal position there on the old medium tires. However, clean air can really pay off, and if he can get a good start over Smoke, and maybe, just maybe, if Tadeli holds up Smoke a little bit, then Tal, we could see him actually be able to get this win. But of course, it's pretty much anyone's win, at least back to Michael Luke there in the 5th position. Of course, BX and Roberts with that time penalty, that could hinder him significantly as far as his chances of winning this race and even getting a podium. But depending on how many laps we're going to have when we go back green, which I feel like the safety car should be coming in this time, will obviously contribute to what's about to happen. So Just to recap, it is going to be Toey, Smoke, and Steli, your top 3, with Delange and Michael Luke, your top 5. Then Bigson, Roberts, JP, Turok, Russman, and Sir Spud, your top 10. This is the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by Nailcoat Hall, GridFinder.com, Driver 61, and GT Omega. Safety cars coming in this lap: Azura, David 46, Nitro Gash, Speed Queen 80, Ginger Tiger, and Maddie. The remainder of the drivers left on track, of course, Sab, Sunboy, and O. Steven, unfortunately having the DNF retirements from this session. Better luck in the next race, but this race we still have to complete, and we're going to have only a handful of laps remaining when we go back green. We'll ride on board with Smoke, as Tao is the control car, and let's see just what happens and when he goes. He gets to go whenever he wants to, as long as it's before the start-finish line, but Smoke is not going to let him out of his sights, and he did not get a good start, but Smoke certainly did. So Smoke using the slipstream here to get around him. DRS is not active yet, but he's going to try to make a move on the inside line, and there goes Smoke around the Red Bull into the first position. There goes Smoke, but will he be able to pull away? Not just yet, but the Alpha Tauri of Tadeli is locked onto the back of that Aston Martin and trying so hard to get to him, but now he has to be locked onto the back of the Red Bull, who is trying so hard as well to get back around Smoke. Smoke on those mostly fresh softs is really pulling away, and it's paying dividends for him, while Tadeli being stuck behind the Red Bull is pretty much Smoke's best friend right now.
Taraka spun! I don't know if he got caught by one of the other drivers, but that's what's happened. Taraka is spun out through turn 5 into turn 6. That is not good news for Taraka, who have been going through from the hard tyre and using the safety car to pit in with the softs. But unfortunately for him now, he's going to be under a lot of pressure to get himself back into a few positions itself. He's right last, and Tadeli! Get in! He got himself ahead into second place. Tao's under a lot of pressure. I told you he would be under a lot of pressure. Oh, JP got around the outside of turn 13. Brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. And Suspod, what's up to Suspod? Suspod has spun and lost out of turn 13. The unlucky turn that you ever see, Tim.
Now watching on the Red Bull of Talon, he is just dropping back significantly. JP in third, trying to chase Tadeli. Everybody chasing Smoke, and they are just waiting for the DRS to be active. It's not active this time, should be active next lap. Smoke, he is going to have to run the best laps of his life. It's going to be just pure qualifying laps from here on out if he is going to be able to beat our pole sitter of Tadeli. We've seen how quick he is, and he has been in form pretty much all race long. Smoke got a big lucky break there with that safety car. Let's see if he is able to make the most of it, or if it's just going to be a podium for the Aston Martin driver in his second race in the Performance League. Of course, Tadeli trying to win his very first race in the Performance League today, and JP, he's just happy to be there. He just wants to win. He has been a regular, and he is ready to see the top spot of the podium.
Absolutely, but I don't want to put a lot of pressure. As I said earlier on, there's been a few times where the first race of the season, whoever wins the first race of the season, and this has happened a few occasions now in the Performance League, they have gone on to win the championship. Not all the time, probably about 50% itself. But that's quite interesting to see how everything goes from this season onwards. But I mean, fair play to ARL last season, and I don't think I can't remember if he started the season last season, but he went on to pulled a lot of the points and caught up to the last race of the season and done well. Today he got the fast on the race down 1:30.010. Now Nigel Gash, who had that spin earlier on, he got a chance to get himself up some decent points. Now moves us up to 7th place now, getting himself ahead of. Oh no, he's dropped himself down to 8th against Russman. Oh, will he try and push on? Oh, just caught the back. Nearly caught the back of Russman. Will. Oh my God, we got a 3 in the bed! We got the 3 in the bed moment! Oh no! Oh, Nitro got himself, he could be on for a classic. Oh my God, we got a 3 in the bed moment through turn 5 and 6. What is going on? This is brilliant, Tim. Absolutely brilliant racing. The restart of the safety car, Tim.
Well, Matt, to answer your question, what is going on? It's called a motor race. We win car racing. That's exactly what they're doing. That's what they are saying. Nitro Gash finds himself in the 7th position. Rustman all the way back in 8th while his teammate is leading this race, trying to fight against the car-allocated teammate of Nitro Gash. So isn't that interesting? 2 Aston Martins and 2 Alpha Tauris, both of them locked in battle with each other. So going back to the battle for the lead because Smoke is so very close to losing. But there goes JP around the Alpha Tauri. So now the McLaren is Smoke's biggest competitor, as Tadeli is starting to drop back. Those 4-lap-old soft tires maybe just slightly less grippy than the 3-lap-olds on JP, but the 6-lap-olds on Smoke for some reason is doing very well for him so far. But JP's going to get the DRS down the front straightaway, and Smoke, my goodness, he is a sitting duck. Look at just how quickly JP comes up on him, going on the inside. Will Smoke be able to defend? No, he will not. He tries with all his might, but JP moves up into the 1st position. Now Smoke doing everything he can to get back on the offensive and get around that McLaren. Lap 26 of 29 is the closing laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and you are watching the battle for the lead between the 3 drivers of JP, Smoke, and Tadeli. Tadeli was your pole sitter. He finds himself in 3rd. He is in his very first realistic performance race ever. Smoke is in his 2nd race ever, and he got a lucky break with the safety car, as did JP, who now finds himself in the lead. One of the regulars in the Invictus Racing League, and JP could be on to win this race.
Could be on at the moment, but BX and Roberts had a bit of a crash, same position as what happened with Sab. And hopefully that's not going to cause too much havoc. But Delange is under a lot, and I say that again, under a lot of pressure from Azurul and Rustman, who are both battling out for 6th place. So we've got this battle going. This is what we love about the F1 race, because once we have the safety car, once everything's built, Smoke! Smoke spun! Smoke has spun at turn 13! I tell you what, turn 13 has been the most unlucky turn for the majority of the drivers, and I tell you what, he has lost himself the chance to be in the podium, Tim.
And he gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Not what he wanted at all. That was the same location, approximately, that he wrecked out of in the F2 race on Tuesday. So Bahrain definitely not agreeing with the Aston Martin driver. At this point, who knows what is going to happen with him. He does find himself in the pits for a brand new front wing. Meanwhile, we are watching the Red Bull of Taui, who is in the 3rd position, but Tadeli trying to give chase to the McLaren of JP, but 1.2 seconds back. He's going to have nothing but raw pace to get there.
Absolutely, but Smoke had lost his front wing as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. He lost his front wing, so he must have lost it through when he's going up to turn 11 and then into turn 12 as well. So what's happened, Tim?
Oh, nothing's happened right now, but you are correct that Smoke did lose his front wing. However, something might be happening between Delange, Rustman, and Michael Lutz, because they were pretty much nose to tail, locked each other's gearboxes, and they are about to enter into yet another chugga-chugga-choo-choo train down the DRS straightaway, and guess what? David 46 and Maddie are also involved in that as well. It looks like maybe even Speed Queen 80. So that is about a 5-car DRS train, maybe 6 cars if I'm doing my math right, that we're going to have to watch there. But there goes Michael Luke trying to make a move on the outside around the Aston Martin. Not able to do anything that time, but he is really flirting with the track limits. He might just be able to get this Aston Martin down the straightaway. If not, he will have an opportunity down the next DRS straight, but I don't think that he's going to need it, because there goes Michael Luke onto the inside of Rustman, and Rustman pretty much lets him go. Doesn't fight too hard, but Rustman also knows that he needs DRS. The question is, was he at least within a second behind the car in front of him when they crossed that detection zone?
That's a big question of it all, but Delange is going to be under a lot of pressure from Rustman, going off the inside. A little bit of contact, but they're still going. Looks like, oh no, contact between David 46 and Michael. The both drivers, Michael's going to have to go around the outside. Matic chase. Oh, David 46 is going to lose the braking point. Oh my God, what is going on at turn 4? I'm sorry if I'm shouting too much, but this is mad racing on the penultimate lap, Tim.
And it is lap 28 of 29. JP, Tadeli, Nitro Gas, your top 3 at the moment. Toei we're looking at right now in a fierce battle with Azurul, who has had a fantastic first race in the top 5 at the moment. Of course, another one who's had a fantastic first race, Tadeli, there in second, possibly battling for the lead, but 2.5 seconds behind, not happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Tadeli and Nitro, they're in the top 3. as well. Absolutely mad scenes, to be fair. But obviously, Nitrogas has got a penalty, so Tao could have a chance to get himself into his podium position, depending on if he gets a penalty as well. So we've got this battle going for fourth, I believe. Yeah, fourth and fifth. Just depends if Nitro can try and pull away and try and keep his third place. That's the biggest question of it all. But Delange, look at Delange now, under a lot of pressure from Russman. Spotter's got another 3-second time bounty for multiple warnings. Azuro moves us up to fourth, and Russman is going some ahead of Delange. Tao moves up to fourth now.
He tried to. Azuro made a fantastic move in the DRS straight, but then Towie was able to almost make the move back into turn one. Never quite seen anything like it, and unfortunately for him, it did not come to fruition. And Speed Queen 80, she has now spun.
I think she might have got caught by some of the drivers, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she got caught by some of the drivers, hence why it got wide now. And then we're on the final lap now. We're on the final lap. Oh no, Matty! Azuro's out! Azuro's out of the race. What's happened? Oh, he's crashed! He's crashed at turn 6 into turn 7. So, oh my god, what's happened there? Michael's out as well! Michael's out as well!
So on the final lap, we already have chaos breaking out, but we are going to have to watch our leader as he is now entering the third and final sector in that McLaren. JP, all he's got to do is make one more single corner, and he will be the winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix to Delhi in his first race ever. He got the pole. He's going to come up one spot short in the final running order. He's back there in second position. The McLaren of JP, though, rounding the final corner, and he is celebratory. He's going to be a very happy man. He has won the Bahrain Grand Prix to Delhi in his first race, finishes in second, and Nitro Gash will cross the line in third. Will he be able to keep it after the time penalties? No, it's going to be Tao who goes up to third.
Good job by the top three drivers. It looks like Russman finishes in 5th. Matty 6th, Delange 7th, Dave 46 in 8th. Jitter Tiger, we haven't mentioned about him at all race. Finishes in 9th, so well done to him. Tarak in 10th, Spud in 11th, Speed Queen in 12th, BX and Roberts will finish off in 13th, and Smoke will finish off in 14th place. But Michael, Azure, mad last lap. God knows what's happened to them, but they lost it at those particular corners itself. But what a race, Tim! An absolutely classic and good way to start the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. And Delange is without doubt the driver of the day, and rightfully so. Started right at the back. Fair, but yeah, it's mad scenes to be fair. But what we'll do is we'll get Tim to do the standings to find out, well, the final standings, shall we say, from this race. It's been a mad race, isn't it, Tim?
It really has, pretty much from the very start, before we even got to turn 1 up to the end. It's just been crazy race, and JP was the one who survived and stands on the top spot of the podium in his McLaren. A very happy man, I'm sure that he will be, and pretty sure he's going to be leading the championship standings now as well. So here's your official finishing results for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Bahrain Grand Prix, brought to you in partnership by Nelco Hall, Driver 61, GT Omega, and GridFinder.com. JP in first, to Delhi in second, Tao in third, fourth is Nitrogas Rustman in fifth, sixth is Matty Delange in seventh, eighth is David 46, Ginger Tiger in ninth, 10th is Taroxer Spud in 11th, Speed Queen 80 in 12th, 13th is BX and Robert Smoke in 14th, Michael Luke in 15th, Azurl in 16th, 17th is Sab, 18th is Sunboy, 19th is O. Steven.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from the top three drivers, to be fair. So it's just absolutely insane. So what we're going to do is, should we get the drivers in? Should we get the drivers in, or shall we get the drivers in, Tim?
If they want to join, then let's go ahead and talk to them.
Yeah, well, obviously, hopefully we'll try and get them in as soon as possible. But just bear with us a sec, guys. We will get them in, and we will try and do the usual, the usual interviews itself. So bear with us a sec, guys. We will get back in about a few minutes' time, but we're just going to try and invite the guys in. But yeah, I mean, while I'm doing that, what's your thoughts of that epic race, Tim, from your perspective?
Oh, I think it was a fantastic race, and it was a great way to really kick off the PlayStation Performance League season. Of course, catastrophe before you reach turn one isn't really the best of what you're going to hope for, but it was a very hard and fierce battles throughout the remainder of the race, and a mixed bag of tire strategies, only one safety car, and a few drivers benefiting from it, a few drivers maybe losing out to it, but we do have, in his very first race, a first-time pole sitter and a first-time podium sitter in the Realistic Performance League, that, of course, being to Delhi. So would love to hear his thoughts, of course, if he wants to join and talk to us, just waiting on what drivers are going to join.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. I believe, was it Tal JP and
to Delhi.
Yeah, and to Delhi, yeah. And sorry, I was just trying to make sure with sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I get the drivers in. So we're just waiting for them guys. If they are going to join in, we'll hear their thoughts. If they don't come in the next few minutes, we will stop the stream. But overall, it's been, I know I keep saying it, it's been a classic, and it's a good way to start of the racing itself. But hopefully we'll get a few more from the top three podiums itself. So we're just waiting for some of the drivers to come in. I believe Tal is going to join in, but we will get the others in. If they're not in the next about minute or two, we will start just the one interview itself. But from your perspective, Tim, I mean, Bahrain is not one of your greatest races. One of your greatest tracks, shall we say?
Well, no, it's not one of my greatest tracks, but it's fun to watch, just not fun to race on. And the thing is I used to like the track until I started racing myself. Then for some reason, the track just became the bane of my existence, except for Portimao, which is the double bane of my existence. So, if Portimao's on the schedule, I haven't actually looked that far ahead. We'll just have to wait and see. I won't be enjoying my time. Well, I'll be enjoying my time watching Portimao, not racing Portimao. Of course, I don't race for the Invictus Racing League. I only commentate for them. But you know what? Invictus is a great league to commentate for. Don't get me wrong. We are fantastic people over here. I may be biased, but, I think that you and I are good people, and it seems that the drivers are good people as well, and they put on fantastic shows.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. Here we go. We'll try and wait and see if there's anyone, but if not, we'll do Tal. So Tal, before you say anything and join the voice chat, please make sure you got your allow voice to be shared set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow.
Yes, that is.
Cool. So I'll pass you to Tim. He'll do the questions. Oh, JP just joined last minute. So JP, as I said, please, before you say anything, go to party settings. There's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow.
And can we please make sure that everyone turns down the stream in the background so that we don't have any interference?
Cool. Absolutely. So, are you guys all set, ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Tim, I'll let you do the honours for JP and Tal.
And we will start with JP, the winner in the McLaren of the Bahrain Grand Prix. JP, I'd say that safety car was pretty much a thing of beauty for you, and without it, you might not be talking to us now. So just tell us about your race and what was going through your mind when the safety car came out.
It saved my race really. I got on the first lap, there was a bit of madness on the first lap, and I just came out the other end with a no front wing basically. So I was at the back. Went on to hards. I thought maybe could get to the end. I could try it. There was nothing to lose at that point. And then the safety car came out then, and that really helped me. I think I felt like I had the advantage anyway on the softs. That was the saviour for my race. And then I got a few lucky at the end of the race there, a few spins and a few incidents, but yeah, sure, came out on top, and I'm happy.
Well, you ran a fantastic race nonetheless because you find yourself in the top spot of the podium. Tell us what it was like battling with Tedeli and Smoke, because you had fierce battles and even making the move around the outside of turn 13 on Towel.
Yeah, no, that was it was a bit sketchy. Terrible, great racing to Daddy as well, and unfortunate for Smoke. I think he may have spun out. I'm not really sure. And I know Tedeli made a mistake during the high speed corner. I can't remember what turn, and I just got him on the inside, and we had a good battle. But gladly I made it out on top.
Well, congratulations on your win, JP, and pretty sure that puts you at the top spot of the championship standings. So one more question for you, though, that Malk has brought to my attention is, what do you think of this stat I'm about to tell you? About 50% of the time, the winner of the first race of the Performance League has went on to win the championship.
I wouldn't be so confident now. There's a lot of good drivers in here, so it's really up for anybody still. Only the first race of the season, so we'll see.
Well, it may be up for everybody, but you do have a little bit of an advantage over everyone else at the moment, so congratulations on your win.
Thank you, and congrats to Ellie and Towel as well.
So now we'll go over to talk to the Red Bull driver of Towel. And Tal, in your first race, you get your first podium. It was great racing between you and JP. Great racing all around. Tell us what you think of the Performance League and what you think about your race.
Gobsmacked. I raced last season in F3, and first season in Performance. To be honest, I wanted points. Podium, just unbelievable. Yesterday I raced in F3 and it really didn't pan out, but it was good practice for this. And yeah, honestly, the safety car absolutely gutted, because I think it'd have been me and Michael for 1-2 if that hadn't have happened, but sort of just hung it out and I got lucky.
So probably around the third position in the championship standings. Of course, it's very easy for us to estimate that with it only being one race under the books now, but tell us how you're feeling about your season overall and how this podium gives you maybe a little bit of a confidence booster.
It's one hell of a confidence boost, that I can actually compete with these guys, because, you've got F1 to F3, and, I struggle in F3, so it's a huge confidence boost for me in my race. And to be fair, for the rest of the season, it's one race at a time. We'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations on your podium, Tal. It was fantastic to watch.
Right, thanks a lot.
And Malk, I think that's just about all the time that we have. What are your thoughts on the race?
It was a great start with the Performance League itself, and that's what we always liked at the Invictus Racing League. We hope to have some more battles galore. I just hope we're going to have a classic season, as we always have each and every single season. So Bahrain tonight, good start, to be fair, but that's the next few races is going to be the most crucial ones, I think, to find out who are going to be the main contenders and who are going to be the mid-packs as well.
And with that, that's all the time that we have, but thank you, everyone who has watched us. Thank you to all the drivers that's raced with us, and congratulations to our podium sitters. And, of course, big thank you to our sponsors, Nailco Hall, Driver61, GT Omega, and GridFinder.com for jumping on board, supporting the stream and the league as a whole. And until next time, have fun, and goodbye.